Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to today's session. I am Suprita. I'm your learner success manager for today's session. So before we move ahead with the session, please give me a quick confirmation. Is my voice is loud and clear? Please use the chat box. Hello Anand sir. Please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear.
Hi, Supita ma'am. Very good evening. I can hear you, ma'am.
Thank you for the confirmation, sir. We can also hear you clearly, sir. You can go ahead with the session, sir.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Very good evening. Guys, we are at 7 right now. Let's wait 7 8 minutes so that others can join, guys. Okay. So, what all we have covered yesterday? Like anyone? Quick recap, guys. What all we have covered yesterday? Quick one, guys. You can write your answer over chat till the time others join. What all we have covered yesterday about VR? Only VR. Okay. VR, MR, AR. What is AR? What is AR, guys? Okay. What is AR? Augmented reality. No, no. I'm not asking the full form. What does it mean? In one line, no worries. Take your time. Type in your answer over chat. We are waiting for others to join. Till that time, we can have a quick revision. Yeah. So augmented reality is basically seeing the virtual element in the real world. What is virtual reality then? What is virtual reality? Perfect. Like we are cut off from the real world and will enter into a virtual world. Okay, and will interact. What is mixed reality? Yeah. So here you will basically interact with the here you will basically interact with the virtual object in real world. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. With that note, let's wait, guys, 2 to 3 more minutes. Okay. Few examples. We are only at 11, so let's wait, guys. So, any examples of AR interfaces, VR interfaces? Quick one. Few examples, guys. Interface examples, guys, like smartphones, right? VR glasses for VR. Any other examples? Meta Quest, perfect. Apple Vision, very nice. Okay, with that note, let me open the Figma. I Why it is very less today? Okay, okay. So, mhm. Okay. Yesterday we have covered till here, right? So today we'll start from this. I'll share the screen and let's get started. We are at 12. No worries, people will join slowly. Hope my screen is visible, right? You can give me a quick confirmation over chat. I hope it is visible to everyone. You can see, right? So from this module, as I have told earlier, I'll what I will do is I will basically merge all the classes in a single Figma slide, and I'll provide you the Figma slide URL. Okay, Figma slide link, and you can see one and two slides. I'll maybe share today or tomorrow. Okay, and you can see all the classes discussion over that, like for class one and class two. Okay, so I think my screen is visible, guys. Right? Quick confirmation over chat, please. Then I'll proceed. Am I audible, team? Uh, okay. Why so much of silence today? Mm-hmm. Guys, am I audible? Please give me a quick confirmation. Feels like Kevin Bharat. Okay, perfect. And my screen is also visible, right? Why everyone is so silent today? Okay, that's fine. The count is very less. Everyone is very silent. Okay, no worries. So today what we will do is we'll start with AR and VR in UX design, guys. Okay. So now, till now we have covered what is AR, what is VR, what is mixed reality, all these things. Okay, in detail yesterday, and today we are going to cover like basically how these are basically used in UX design. Okay, so today we'll cover all this, and also we'll take a few examples related to this. So for any doubts or any concerns, please stop me over there and ask your doubts or queries. Okay, I'll clear your doubts first and then we'll move ahead. Is that clear? Is that clear to everyone? Okay. Okay, one second. Okay, Rahul says yes. Okay, Kevin says yes. Okay, so with that note, guys, let's get started. Okay, so a quick recap. So yesterday, what we have covered is basically all the technologies like AR, VR, MR, how HCI, like human computer interfaces, works, the technology, AI platforms, all these things we have covered yesterday. Okay, now today we'll start with AR and VR thing in the UX design. Okay, so let's start with this engaging session first. Imagine you are designing your dream home. Instead of looking at blueprints or 2D images, you put on headset, okay, and walk through the house in real time. You can move furniture, change wall colors, and even experience how sunlight falls into the room at different times of the day. All before anything is built means virtually you wanted to feel that. Okay, how can we have such immersive and intuitive experience? Think about the concept that we have explored yesterday, like in the previous session, and try to answer. A quick one, guys. What do you think? How you can achieve this? You can type in your answer over chat. One second, guys. Type in your answer over chat. With the help of 3D software, we can build an immersive and intuitive experience. Perfect. Others? Others? I want few answers, guys. Divakaran, Ammu, Pushpa, Alekhya, Anubhav. Please type your answers. Think, no worries, take your time. But I want few answers here. How you can create. Any answers? Mhm. Okay. By building AR system that makes use of dimensions of the actual house and simulate that house, something like that. Okay. Okay. Good. Others? Few more guys. Mhm. Others, quick one. I got few more answers. Ha. Okay. By okay. Rahul says. Mhm. Okay. Change object by using gestures and on-screen UI designs to place, move, and manipulate that world. Okay. Okay. Perfect. By understanding how user interact. Okay. Mm-hmm. Few more guys. 2 to 3 more minutes over on this. How do you think how you are going to do that? First, think of yesterday's class, what we have covered yesterday, and then you can provide your answers. Anything, what is coming in your mind, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, no worries. Okay, let me break the ice, guys. No worries in that one. So basically what will happen is we can create such immersive and intuitive experience using virtual reality, augmented reality, and advanced 3D interaction design, as rightly mentioned by Kevin. Okay, we can use 3D interaction design here. Okay, in simple terms you can understand this as a VR and AR lets user experience space instead of just seeing them. Okay, so like in a simple 2D, what happens is the user simply sees it. Okay, they can't experience, they can't feel it. But with AR and VR we can give an immersive experience. Okay, and we can give certain natural interactions like walking, pointing, dragging object they can see, means will basically provide them a feeling. Today we'll touch base this, no worries. Okay, I'll tell you in detail about the natural interactions. Okay, So without even nowadays the technology is so advanced is that using AR and VR, what we can do is, let's suppose something I need to press at distance. Okay, so I should not go and like I should not walk and then press. From here itself, I can see it and then I can press it. Okay, so we'll touch base this. So these are few natural interactions. Then we have some real time rendering like lighting, colors, furniture, all these things will show, okay, the changes instantly. Like if they do something, some changes, they, let's suppose they wanted to experiment with the colors, like which sofa will go best, okay, which sofa color will go best over here, okay, with the paintings and all, so they can instantly do this. So we can give them the color palette and all these things. And user centered design will, I'll also talk this today. So user centered design basically ensures here like it is easy, intuitive, and one thing I told you, right, match with this real world. Okay, so that matches with the real world. It should not feel like it's totally fictional. Like, okay, they can feel it. Oh wow, it is something like this. Once I do it, once I basically combine all this, then it will be like this. So, by combining immersive technologies plus intuitive interactions plus real time feedback, we can create this lifelike experiences, guys. Is this clear to everyone? Others? Second, guys, let me put on the charger. Others? Is it clear? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there apps that tracks the UX for these kinds of devices, or this is done manually? See, Kevin, basically there are few platforms where you can create it. Okay, we'll touch base those platforms in next in upcoming classes. Okay, Kevin. Okay, perfect. So, guys, it is clear. Like I can only see Pushpa, uh, Kevin, Rahul. Others, give me a quick confirmation, guys. You got it, or should I repeat? It's just yeah, it's just an application of yesterday's uh, uh, concepts that we have learned together. Is this clear? Others, how you can do it? Hmm. Everyone is so silent today. Okay, Srinivas, Anubhav, Bharat, Arjun. Is it clear, guys? Raja, Shri, Shekhar is clear. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Now, now let's jump to the content, guys. We are at 18 now. Okay, let's start with the content. So, today, what we will do, today we are going to touch base augmented reality and virtual reality in the UX design. Okay, how basically these technologies will be used in the UX design. Will identify the primary ways by which user interact with virtual reality environment, so that we can enhance the usability and we can enhance the immersion. Okay, for example, how you can create certain VR environments so that you can ensure that user will be fully immersed in that one. Will also evaluate the emerging trends in virtual reality interactions and access their potential to transform user engagement, and will also touch base few of the special user interfaces. Okay, so post break will touch base the special user interfaces, how basically yeah, how basically it is used to create an engaging experience. And in upcoming classes we'll have certain tools demo, like basic one where you can see, where we can learn how to create these kind of interfaces and use it. Okay, although in UX, as I told you earlier and I showed you yesterday also, over Behance you can create certain 3D objects, you can create certain 3D environments, and through this one you will be able to showcase that. But how to create it? So there are a few tools where we can which we can leverage, and I'll show you tomorrow. Okay, sorry, in the next upcoming classes. Okay, now guys, so we'll start now. So be focused from now. For any doubts, please let me know. Okay, so AR in UX design, that is augmented reality in UX design. Okay, so AR basically used in UX to create experiences. And for what it is creating, for what it is created, it is basically used to blend the real world with the digital world. Okay, with AR you can provide information, interactive elements and immersive experiences, so that you can blend the you can blend the digital world with the physical world. And if you are doing it, okay, then user will be able to feel it, user will be able to immerse in it. Okay, so that AR does. So what are the few elements that we need to think of? So first and foremost is environment, very important. Then movement, without movement there is no feeling. Then onboarding means will onboard the user, the interaction, and finally user interface. Now let's see this one by one. First, UX design elements for AR. Environment. Okay, so what environment refers? Environment refers basically a physical space in which the AR experience takes place. Okay, so environment is basically a physical space where AR experience takes place. Designing for the environment involves considering factors such as, okay, lighting condition. Okay, so first and foremost, the lighting condition should be very proper. Here if you see, if lighting is not proper, everything feels black. But with proper light, uh, it comes to real. Okay, user will feel it like a real. Okay, so if you are using an AR app to visualize objects like a chessboard, lamp or shoe, proper lighting is crucial. So environment consists of proper lighting first. Okay, in low lighting, in low light settings the app may struggle to detect the surfaces accurately, causing these items to appear misaligned, flicker, or lose details as shown in the image. So, for example, there is a house, okay, and in that house, you wanted to put new chair, okay, and if in that room where you wanted to put the chair, or in that house where you wanted to put the chair, there is no proper lighting, means there is an issue with the environment. Okay, so what will happen is, while scanning or while visualizing through the application, mobile application, the app may struggle to detect the surfaces. Okay, so there should be proper lighting in the environment. Now, physical obstruction. Okay, for example, you see a museum AR guide might project a virtual dinosaur skeleton, but physical obstacles like pillars can distort the display. Okay, so here what will happen is, if there is some physical how to say obstructions between the image or the object and your phone, the device, basically AR interface, then it may blend um like arbitrarily. Okay, and you will feel like unrealistic. Okay, so there should not be any obstruction, it should be clean. So first and foremost is there should be a proper lighting, and second is there should not be some obstructions. Okay, it should be clean and neat so that you can feel while using the AR application. Okay, third is layout of the surrounding. For example, in a retail store, okay, an AR app might let shoppers visualize products in their home. But if it misinterprets the room layouts, means if the layout is not proper, if the layout is not clear, then AR model might might float unrealistic. Means you won't feel realistic things. Okay, the entire experience will go like virtual. Okay, although it is virtual, but the motto, or you can say the end goal of environment, is to give you a realistic feeling. You should feel it like a real. Okay, so the layout of the surrounding should be proper, otherwise the AR application might misguide you. Okay, so first and foremost thing is proper lighting. Second thing is obstructions. There should not be any obstacles between the AR applications and the product. And the third is layout of the surrounding. Means everything should not be very cluttered or like here and there. It should be basically proper. Okay, so that AR application can visualize the product easily. Okay, so this is all about the environment, guys. After environment, okay, we'll go for the movement. So the same thing that we have discussed yesterday, that is Pokemon Go. So here you see, you are walking through your local park, like user mobility, with your phone in hand. As you walk closer to a specific fountain, a Pikachu appears on your screen. Okay, the moment you move, okay, the moment you go near to some areas, some roads or maybe fountain, you can see Pikachu appears on your screen. Okay, so through phone camera you can see Pikachu sitting on the grass near the fountain. Once you move closer to the fountain to aim better and flick your finger to throw a Pokeball at Pikachu, catching it. Virtual and real environment interaction means what will happen is, let's suppose you have seen at certain area. Okay, this is the fountain flowing. Okay, and once you move you see Pikachu sitting over there. Once you go near to Pikachu and once you flicker, okay, let's suppose you throw some ball, so Pikachu will catch it, so you will feel like a a real movement. Okay, and that is through the movement. Okay, now the third thing is onboarding. Okay, so onboarding basically is the initial setup or introduction to the experience. Why? Because once you onboard the user to an AR platform, then you should let him know or let her know that what exactly it is. You should give an introduction about the, you should give an introduction about the environment. Okay, you should give an introduction about the initial setup. Okay, like what it is, how it is going, all these things you should give an introduction to the user. Unless and until you are not giving the introduction, they might feel confused, they might feel, hey, like what exactly is happening, where to use it, how to use it, all these things will come into the picture. Okay, so there are two main components, guys, for the onboarding. First is instructional walkthrough and second is contextual tips. Okay, so let's first see instructional walkthrough. Okay, so it basically teaches the user how to use an app. Okay, so like how the interface basically will be perceived to the user, how user can use it. Okay, for example, when you first open the app, let's suppose here you are, so you can point your phone's camera at the floor to scan your room. First point, maybe first step, and then tap on the catalog to select a piece of furniture, drag the item to place it in your space. Means like the way uh, uh, onboarding done in our mobile application earlier. In the same way, what you can give is you can give an instructional walkthroughs. Like for example, through some application you can see how that sofa will look like in that room. So you can give them steps, basically how to follow that, how to do that. So what you will do is basically you can tell them, point the phone camera, means you need to point the phone camera at the floor, okay, so that it can scan the room. Now you can tap on the furniture which you wanted to see. So there may be multiple options. You can tap it, drag it to a place where you wanted to see it. For example, besides the dining table, you wanted to see how the sofa will look on this color. Okay, so you can see this, and this is the example done in IKEA place. They are basically using this AR instructional walkthrough technologies to give an better experience, give a better experience to the user, and user by using it, okay, can see in live without doing it in real. They can see how it will look and they can go ahead for shopping. Now what is contextual tips in the AR? So with the same IKEA place, once you are using the app, you will give the tips, real time tips, like some pop-ups will come or some flows will come. They will see, for example, they say use two fingers to rotate the furniture for better alignment. Let's suppose you wanted to see whether left aligned will look better or right aligned will look better. Okay, so you can see a pop-up, hey, like this you can use two fingers to rotate the furniture for a better alignment. Okay, and second is some information like ensure the room is well lit, means there should be a proper light so that app can detect the surface better. And you should move closer to the wall for better placement or accuracy. You should move closer to that area where you wanted to see how it will look, how that sofa will look. You should be close to that area. You should not like you should be very far and you are doing it. It is not going to work. Okay, so all these small tips or instructions is important, is equally important. Okay, while giving the experience. So first we'll give an instructional walkthrough to the user, like hey, this is how you need to go, step 1, step 2, step 3. And while performing like when while user is performing those steps, you should give additional tips. Okay, like contextual tips you should give, like hey, you can rotate like this, you can use this finger to do this, make the room more lit so that it quickly detects the surfaces and all these things. And also you should be closer to the target space so that you can see better accuracy. Okay, so this is contextual tips, guys. Now user interface. So user interface is basically the visual elements and all the controllable things through which user interacts and navigate. Okay, so that is UI, basically we all know. So for example, Google Maps, what Google Maps does, it Google Map AR enhances navigation by overlaying directional cues into the live camera view of your phone. Okay, like here you can see they gives an directional cues. Okay, this approach aligns with the design consideration and basically enhances the user experience. Okay, so the entire user interface while doing that AR thing is a is equally important, because through this one user will be able to control the entire platform. Okay, they can see, they can go in the same line. We have design considerations. Okay, so design considerations have certain things like visual hierarchy, the same thing, typography, aesthetics, and seamless integration. Don't worry, we'll talk about details also for all this. Okay, so we visual hierarchy, the same thing, like the important information, okay, should be at the top, so it should follow from top to bottom. Okay, so more prominent thing which should be more critical should show upfront at the top, and with less critical details shown subtly. Okay, we can give them at the bottom. Okay, same with the typography and aesthetics, like the entire UI and typography, it should be readable, clear. Okay, there should be a proper negative space so that I can feel it real. Okay, and integration also, like the way digital thing, for example in Uber and Ola, you can see car is moving. So what they are doing basically, they are actually integrating, they are actually blending the digital or virtual object, that is a car as a virtual object in the real road, right? You can see nearby circle near your house, it is actually coming. Okay, so that integration should be seamless, it should not feel like, hey, it's not properly merged, it's not properly blended. Okay, so if you are giving those kind of seamless integration of virtual object with the real world, then the user will feel immersed and there will be a feeling of realism. Okay, so once that is done, uh, in will also give certain holistic design approach. For example, environmental context, user movement, and reducing cognitive load. Okay, so what exactly is environmental context? So here, as I told earlier, there should be a proper light, there should be a proper contrast, and all these things. Movement is like once you go closer to that area, okay, then your perspective will change the moment you move. For example, while playing any game and all, you must have seen, the moment you go or approach something, or you move, you take a turn. Okay, so there is a real time updates. And whenever there are any AR elements, okay, that is needed, just show that one. For example, while playing some games, there is a enemy in front of you and you need to hit him. So what you can think of, you can give only those AR elements that is needed. Okay, like all the weapons and all, and you will give an intuitive way by which they can, like user can choose it and proceed. So if you are giving all these stuffs to the user, then user will feel it like real, they will feel it like, oh wow, it is something which is cool and I should use it. Okay, so by this way you'll be able to immerse the user, okay, into the virtual world. After that, we have one more thing, that is interaction. So interaction is again like how you are basically engaging the user with the virtual object and with the user interface within that environment. Okay, so here what happens, if you see here, it allows the user, it allows user to see virtual glasses, okay, adjust in real time. So here actually AR is coming in place, and here you can see how it is going to look. Okay, so here you see try on virtually. Okay, once you click, you can, it will allow user to see like how virtual glasses will adjust in the real time. Okay, and for this one again, the same thing, you need to blend the real and virtual thing seamlessly so that it feels real, and it should like easy to use. Okay, and also this interaction simplifies the task, means here simply I've given a button, if something is there, it will show up a pop or some contextual tips so that user can have a smooth experience with the styles. Okay, so interaction is equally important, what you need to do, what you need to give at what time is equally important, so that there's a seamless experience, guys. Okay, now what are the few ways of interaction in AR? Okay, so while performing the augmented reality, okay, what all the ways of interaction? So first is drag and drop, like I drag something, drop it here. Voice control, tap and slide. Okay, these are the few ways of interaction. Now before going to a quick check, guys, I'll again reiterate the entire thing for you. So AR is like augmented reality in UX design, and there are few elements for it, like environment, movement, onboarding, interaction, and user interface. Environment consists of, first, proper lighting in the physical space. Second, there should not be a obstruction. For example, my phone is here and I'm seeing, what I'm doing is basically I'm seeing an object through my phone, so there should not be a obstruction or obstacle between that. And the third is the surrounding or the layout. It should not be like cluttered, should be a proper, there should be image, so that it AR model can quickly detect it. Then movement is the moment you do certain movement, it should be like it should quickly update. Okay, so if you are focusing towards Pokemon Go, okay, and if you are moving, then it should feel like you are going near to that, and if you throw, Pokemon should catch it. Okay, so virtual blending in the real environment should be adhere should follow the movement. Like, so the moment you are doing something, okay, it should match to the system exactly. Then we have onboarding. Onboarding means what? We are onboarding the users. So to onboard the users, we need two things. First is instructional walkthrough, and second is contextual tips. Means first we'll give an instructions like what all you can do. For example, in IKEA, they give the user, first you need to select the space where you need to put the sofa, then you need to choose the sofa, then you need to place it here so that you can see. And you can also give the tips while using by the customer, like you can use two fingers to rotate the direction, you can change the color. So all these tips is equally important. Okay, it gives an immersive feeling to the user. Then user interface, the same thing, the UI, how you are basically designing the UI so that user can quickly connect with it, user can quickly interact with that. And there are few design considerations, as we know. First is visual hierarchy, means whatever the important things are there, that should be at the top, and accordingly you should move down. The entire UI should be minimal in aesthetics. There should not be much clutter, and all the typographies are clear, so that any eyes, weak eyes, okay, they can see. And the seamless integration. For example, once you book Ola or Uber, you can see the cars and all moving towards you. Okay, so that integration of the virtual object that is car in the real world, that should be, the integration should be seamless. Okay, so that user feel, hey, some real object is coming, so it enhance the emotion. And as I told earlier, okay, environmental context is the entire brightness, the arrows, whatever is there, that is movement. Means the moment you take any action, the moment you go somewhere or you move or you do some activity, it should update accordingly. And we should only give the relevant information, as it is an AR interface, it's an AR platform. So whatever is needed, let's suppose while walking, if you're playing some game and you are walking, so it should give all the things accordingly. It should not give you unnecessary things, so that there should not be increase in the cognitive load. Okay, and with interaction, guys, with proper interaction, basically you can give a holistic feeling to the user. Okay, you can allow user to interact by various mediums, like you can bringing the AR interaction to life. You can blend the real and virtual thing seamlessly, so that like while using it, while seeing that, you feel like it's real. And all these things should be very simple, it should not be very tough, should not have multiple steps, so that user feel its ease. Okay, user can quickly use it. This user should not feel like, hey, what it is, I'm not able to do it. There are certain games, okay, once you if you use it, if you play it, you will feel like, hey, I'm stuck, I'm not moving ahead. So you should not design such elements. Okay, so the entire thing should be very simple and aesthetic, guys. Okay, and for the interaction, we have four different ways: drag and drop, voice control, tap, or slide. So, for example, I need to choose some catalog. I'll select it, tap, drag it to that area, and drop it. Okay, so I can see. So, this is the first way. Second is voice control. I can say move forward, so it will move forward. Tap, as I told, I can tap, I can enlarge, I can do so like a touch based basically. Okay, and with slide also some interactions are possible, guys. Is this clear to everyone? Any doubt? Is it clear to everyone? Simple theories, guys. Others? Perfect. Perfect. Now let's have a quick check, guys. So a furniture company is designing an AR application to help customers visualize how their products will look in their home. Same thing. What design consideration should they prioritize to ensure the AR environments adapt seamlessly to the user space? First, advanced animation for visual effects. Second, voice based navigation. Third, designing for environmental factors like lighting and obstructions, all these things. Fourth, providing adjustable tools for resizing and positioning furniture. A, B, C, D. For AR, what all important? C. Bharat says C is other. Rajashri says C. Kevin says C. Okay. Perfect. Yes. The correct answer is C, guys. Yes. Right, Shushmita. So the correct answer is C. Okay. So designing for environmental factors like lighting and obstruction, because it is an AR experience. So the entire area, the entire environment should be should have a proper lighting so that object looks realistic. Otherwise, it will full black and black. Okay, surface and depth should be proper. There should not be any obstacles so that furniture does not overlap. Okay, so C is the correct answer, guys. Now let's jump to VR in UX design. Okay, so virtual reality in UX design. How? So virtual reality is basically used to create a new experience, or you can say an innovative experience in UX design, guys. Okay, it is used for that one. So designers can craft immersive experience. I'm again and again saying immersive experience means that experience which basically immerse the user into the environment. Okay, so uh, designers can design or craft immersive experience to enhance the user satisfaction. And VR, what VR does, VR basically helps a designer to create certain experiences so that user feel like they are physically present in the virtual world. Okay, so they are totally cut off from the real world and they are into virtual world, but they feel like they are in physical world, and everything is whatever is happening, it is real. Okay, so here you see VR in UX example, Zillow's 3D tours. Okay, so as I showed you earlier, let me open. Yeah, here you can see as I showed you earlier. So I can anytime move this up and all this. Here I can go to full screen, and here you see, let's suppose I open the door. Okay, the sound that is coming, this is also feels like VR. Okay, and if I wanted to switch to night mode, now it is switched to night mode. Okay, now you see here, as I showed earlier, okay, you can do lights on and off. So this is a 3D mode, guys. Okay, so in 3D mode, I can show all these things, and it looks so real, and like a user can feel it. Okay, so it is talking about that here. Now here, okay, so it allows user to see the things in a 360-degree. Okay, here you see, I can see the 360 view, right? I can move it here, up, and all this. Here you see, if I go and if I sunroof close, you see I can open it. So how it look like? Okay, first XUV 3X. Okay, so here I can have a 360-degree that it is talking about. Now, how users basically interact in VR. Okay, so there are few ways. Okay, so first is hand tracking and gestures. Okay, like with hand tracking and some gestures. Second are controllers. Third is voice recognition. Gauge based interaction means interaction with your eyes and some spatial movements. Let's talk about all this in detail. Okay, first, hand tracking and gestures. Okay, for example, with real hand movement, okay, of the user can do certain actions. Okay, so naturally in the VR space they can do. For example, here you see VR hand tracking on the left side of the image shows the real hand movement, you see, and movement of the user, and the right side of the image shows the virtual hand replicated in the VR. You see, the right side it's virtual. Okay, so with hand tracking and gestures, you can interact. Then we have controllers. So controllers are like basically joysticks or triggers or some buttons while playing games and all, like Oculus Quest 3 controllers. Okay. So these all are very nice, and these are basically controllers. Through this one, you can easily uh, do this thing, right? You can control, you can interact with the platform. Then we have voice recognition like Alexa, okay, in VR gaming and all, where players can take weapon, okay, or they can basically play with just an voice interaction without using their hands. They can simply by saying they can play those games. Then gauge based, as I told, it actually captures the eye tracking. Okay, so VR system uses eye trackings or allows the user head to point with their gaze. Like here you can see HoloLens and Oculus, they basically use head tracking for cursor control, and Apple Vision Pro uses eye tracking for gaze control. Okay, so maybe if you stare at something or if you blink, some interactions will happen. That's simple. And spatial movements is like some how to say, some ways, like if you do some movement like this only or that only. Okay, these are basically manual actions, physical movements, okay, within that space. So if you do this, then also you can interact. For example, in room scale VR, users can move freely, and the same walk is replicated in the VR environment. Like for example, you must have seen Ravan movie of this one, Shah Rukh Khan. I remember. So in that one, I think his kid was using that one. Okay, so with certain spatial movement, what happens is you can actually see that in the VR space. Okay, so here we have few things like with tracking and gestures you can do. For example, here if you move like this, so in VR environment it will move. Then we have controllers like joysticks, buttons, or some other controllers like Oculus Quest 3, you can do the interaction. Third is voice recognition, move forward, select the weapon, hold a gun, fire, something like this. Okay, gauge based is through eyes tracking and head tracking, like this. If if I blink the eyes, if I stare at something, so some tracking will happen. And there are certain special movements, like if you walk, if you flicker, something like this. It if you do so, the same thing will be replicated in the VR environment. So by this one, you will feel like you are actually seeing, you are actually in a physical world, although you are in a virtual world, guys. It is just an few ways. Okay, so now a quick check, guys. A VR fitness app wants to ensure user can interact effectively during workouts while maintaining immersion. Which, so basically here what is happening, a VR fitness app wants to ensure user can interact effectively during workouts while maintaining immersion. Which interaction method is most suitable for this purpose? First, gauge based interaction to access workout instruction, voice command to adjust hand tracking and gestures, or special movement. Before going to this, I would say, like, what, any doubts here, like on hand tracking, gestures, controllers, voice recognition, gauge based, or special movements? Any doubts, guys? Anything? I think it's simple, just a theory. Like, there are few ways by which you can interact in the VR environment. Any doubts? All clear? Clear. Okay. Others? This theory is clear to everyone? Perfect. Now, yeah, let's jump to this question again. Once again. Yeah. So here, basically, a VR fitness app is there. Okay. And this fitness app ensures like user can interact effectively during workout. So while workout, what happens? Not only your hand, or not only your voice, not only your eye and all this move, the entire body moves, right? So which interaction method is most suitable for this purpose, guys? Okay, like eye tracking, voice, hand gesture, or special movement, like physical activities? Quick one. I would choose C. Okay. Others? Others? Doing during workout, where you are running, where you are jumping, what would be? Okay, I'll again go to B. Okay, no worries, I'll go again. So there are few ways. First is hand tracking and gestures, where only with hand tracking and gestures you can do. Controllers, like there are some headsets, some machines, some joysticks, and all this thing. Through this one, you can do the controllers. Okay, then voice recognition, like through voice. Fourth is through eye and head. Fifth is spatial movement. Like let's suppose you are running, you are walking, then by this way you can perform in the VR. So here the question is, in a workout room, okay, or you can say, you can think of a gym. Okay, so while during the workout he wants to see, means I'm running here and there, I'm going here and there, but I wanted to maintain the same immersion. I should not, I don't want to lose that, lose that interaction. So what would be the best way? Only eye tracking or head tracking, only voice command, only gestures, or special movement, like that gives me dynamical physical activities, like I can move here and there? Which one? A, B, C, D? Now I think it is clear. Special movement. Yes. D. Rajshri, D. Perfect. Yes, D. Perfect. Yes. So guys, the correct answer is D, spatial movement. Why? Because in a VR fitness app, The goal is full body engagement and immersion. Okay, so as it is an workout, right? So physically they will move, exercise, and they don't want to remove lose that. So only with special movement, means user can do full body movement. Okay, gaze and voice could be there, but that is secondary. So the most suitable is D. Now, emerging trends in interaction with VR. Okay, so there are few emerging trends, guys. Okay, that is there with interaction in VR. Okay, let's see this. And here it is very important. Okay, so pay more attention. So VR interactions are fluid. Okay, I'll tell you why fluid. Okay, and it basically prioritize can change over time as consumer adapt to VR and UX concepts are applied in VR. Some of the emerging VR interactions means the way you should give interaction to the user. For example, if I say you in a mobile application, if you need to give some interaction, how you can uh, do tap, drag, hover, okay, slide, all these are interactions. But the same thing in VR environment, how you will do? So there are few ways. Okay, first is diegetic UI. First I'll tell you in detail each one. Okay, don't worry, I'll clear the concept. Second is selection ray functions. Don't get confused with fancy words, these are simple things. Third is long press button function, that is there in the application also. Teleportation and snap rotation and VR menus. Now, let's deep dive into each. So, first is diegetic UI first. So, it basically blends the real with virtual. Okay, so user interact basically in VR using hand tracking or controllers. Okay, how? Let's understand this with an example. So diegetic UI means the interface is the part of the virtual world itself. It should not feel like floating like a typical app UI. Okay, now understand this with an example first. So the score, buttons, and controls are embedded inside the VR environment like an object in the scene. Okay, so they should not be floating here or there. They should feel like they are an object. Okay, so user will interact with them using controllers just like touching real objects. Okay, it feels natural because I feel like it is a part of the world. It's not a separate layer. It should not be moving here and there. Okay, so why it is important? It is important because user will feel immersed. You will feel it inside. Okay, and obviously it will reduces distractions. Let's suppose something floating comes and then you choose no, it is something apart, like in wall something is there, you can go and choose all this. So it makes the interaction more intuitive and realistic. Second, selection ray functions. Okay, so user interact by moving and engaging with scene objects. Okay, like in the scene whatever the objects are there, user can move and engage with that one, including menus or UI functions. Okay, examples are like interaction with VR UI element utilizes the selection ray, which resembles a button hover effect on websites. Okay, so the selection ray overlaps with UI elements or objects, altering their visual appearance. Let's understand this with an example, guys. No need to take tension. So, selection ray is basically a way to interact with objects in VR. Means there are multiple objects, and you can interact with these objects in the VR using a laser-like pointer. Okay, and where that laser-like pointer is there, maybe from your controller, maybe that this controller. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, you can see this controller. Okay, or through your hand itself, because hand movement is also there, you see. Okay, hand tracking and gestures is also there. So here, if you go, so here selection ray, if we all know ray is a light. Okay, so through this one is a laser like pointer from your controller or hand. Okay, so a ray or line comes out from your hand or controller. You point at a button or object. When the ray touches it, the element highlights or change appearance. You you then click trigger to select it. Got it? So first, let's suppose you wanted to choose certain object, you wanted to press certain button, so you will first point out, the ray will go, it will highlight, and then you can use. In real world comparison, like it's similar to a mouse hover plus click on a website. Okay, so the ray goes and it hits that, and some changes appear. So that is mouse hover. The moment I go, so it changes its color or maybe shadow, and then you click, and here you first put the ray, it changes, and then you select. And why it is used? It is basically used to interact with the distant object. For example, I'm here, and at some distance, okay, you need to use certain objects, so you can simply do and you can click, no need to walk to them. Okay, so it makes selection precise and easy. So if that is ray is there, first you can put the ray. If you go and try clicking it, try touching it, it may feel like, oh, some issues are there, maybe not proper. So it makes selection precise and easy. And where it works well for menus, button, slider in 3D space. Okay, that is selection ray. Third is long press button function. Okay, so long press button function is basically gauge control. Okay, and to point a UI element. So user typically needs to gaze for 2 to 3 seconds to select buttons or objects. Okay, so the example can be, here you see the example. The example given shows a gaze control on the HoloLens, where users hold their gaze to execute the next or previous button, with progress clearly indicated by a fill animation. Now, let's see an example, guys. Okay, so if you see long press, like if like HoloLens or something, so instead of clicking, you stare. As I told you, gaze is this one. I showed you earlier. Gaze based. Okay, so gaze based is basically eye tracking. Okay, or allow the user's head to point with their gaze. Okay, so that is with eyes or head. Now here you see long press. So in mobile application, what you do, you go and sometime press. It happens in some time, in some application, all you can see, you can long press to deselect it. Okay, you can long press to enable it to delete. Okay, so that long press is basically the same thing here. And how you do it? Instead of clicking or holding, you stare, means you see that button for 2 to 3 seconds to select it. Okay, a fill animation shows your progress, so you know it's working. And it is useful when your hands are busy and your eyes do the clicking. Got it? So let's suppose through your hands you are doing some task, and you wanted to use some more button, you wanted to do some more activity. So in that one, instead of you know, removing one hand, what you can do, through your eyes you can stare that for 2 to 3 seconds, so it will feel like a long press, and some feedback will come. Or yesterday I told you that feedback is equally important. Through this one, user will get to know what exactly is happening in the system, right? So with this one, some animation, some feedback should be given to the user. Okay, so user will get to know it is actually working. That is long press button function. Now, teleportation and snap rotation. In VR, teleportation and snap rotations are a vital technique, and where it is used for navigation and interacting with virtual environments. Okay, so here you see this is teleportation is utilized for movement, and here you see snap rotation is for rotation. Okay, let's see with some example. So here you see teleportation and snap rotation, two ways to move and look around. So in VR you should move, like you will go forward, you will come backward, or you can do like this, you can do like this, you can move around also. So how you can use teleportation and snap rotation? First, teleportation. So think of teleportation. Porter, that is movement, right? So teleportation is equals to instant travel. Means you will go, you will move. You are not rotating. You are moving. So either you will go forward, backward, or you can move. Okay, so teleportation is instant travel. So in VR, walking with a joystick can make you dizzy, right? So if you are using joystick to move, it will make you dizzy, it will make you giving a bad experience, right? So instead of bad thing, you point a spot. Let's suppose I am here and I wanted to go there. So you can point a spot and instantly appear there, like blinking from one place to another. Okay, so it is used for moving around the VR world. Let's suppose I wanted to go there. Okay, so what I will do is, with my controller, with my joystick, I'll simply select that area, and with teleportation, I simply spot a area, select that area, and I'll simply appear over there. Like it's like disappearing and appearing. That's why it is called as instant travel. Okay, now what is snap rotation? So snap rotation is guys basically quick turning. So instead of smoothly turning, okay, like this, your view jumps in a fixed step, like 45-degree at a time. You can set that 30-degree, 90-degree, the way objects turn in the Figma. Okay, let's suppose I need to turn some icon, so I can use, right? So each press of a button is one quick turn. Let's suppose you have set 45-degree, you click, you can have a quick turn, and it is very much used for changing the direction. Let's suppose you are moving there, need a 90-degree turn, simply use snap rotation, you can do it. And why do this matter? It matters because normal movement can cause motion sickness. You will feel like, yeah, I'm very slow. So to give that trigger, to give that realistics, to give that spatial feeling, that emotion to the user, we should use snap rotation. Okay, so these two techniques, snap rotation and teleportation, makes VR feel comfortable and easy to use, and these are considered as must have features in any good VR app for game, for app or game. Okay, so teleportation and snap rotation is very important. And spatial design in AR and VR. This is spatial design, and it is something related to this one. Will take a look like familiarity, human design, dimension, immersion, how this happens. But before that, okay, you should understand this teleportation, snap rotation, long press button function, selection ray function, or and diegetic UI first. Okay, so that's why I explained with examples. So I again reiterate for you. So diegetic is basically, it is a part of the world. It should not floating. It should be a part of the world. If some menus or something is there, you feel like immersed in that area. Okay, you should not, something not should coming floating. It should, it should feel like a part of that world. Okay, so that you can feel a realistic environment. Second, selection ray function. Okay, if I need to press something at distant, okay, and my hands are occupied, so what I can do, like I can put that laser and all these things over there, okay, and it will change. Some animation will come, it will change, and you can click and trigger, same like mouse over and click in the app. Then we have a long press button, like the way we do long press, or maybe you throw mouse long click. In the same way here, what you can do, you can basically steer. Okay, you can basically steer 2 to 3 seconds, some animation will come, and you will feel like, hey, something is happening, and it is done. And fourth is teleportation. Teleportation means like instead of slow moving, what you can do is you can select a spot, use this teleportation, and you can quickly jump over there. And snap rotation is instead of slow rotating, you can set the degrees like 28 degrees, 30 degrees, or 45 degrees, or 70 degrees, or whatever it is. With single click, what will happen is it will quickly turn. And in any of the VR app or any VR games, this teleportation and snap rotation is very, very important. Okay, so you should use this features like teleportation, snap rotation, long press button function, selection ray functions, diegetic UI first. Okay, so these are basically emerging trends in interaction with VR. Okay, and VR menus are basically a simple menus which are there in the environment through which you can select. And then we'll move to the spatial design, guys, like uh, 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 the way we have learned this spatial movement. I'll show you. Okay, you see spatial movement. So how you can do that spatial design, okay, that is here. So here we'll have apple's principles like familiarity, HCD, dimension, immersion, how you can do this. Okay, so for this also we have few examples. I'll cover this after the break, but till now what I have covered, like teleportation, snap rotation, long press button, menus, selection ray function, diegetic UI first. I think it is clear to everyone. These are the theory, guys, you need to know before going for this one. No worries, Paraj. That's totally okay. That's totally okay. We are basically talking about AR and VR in the this thing UX. So you can carry from now. Okay, the whatever you have missed, you can go through this uh, with recording, and for any doubts or concerns, you can reach out to me over Slack. Okay, Paraj. I think that's okay, Paraj, right? Okay, perfect. So guys, this is clear with example. This theory is clear to everyone. Any doubts? Perfect. Others, if I tell you what is teleportation, what is teleportation, snap rotation, you can give answers at least, right? Guys, give me a quick confirmation. Is it clear? Okay. Okay, Rahul says yes. Perfect. I hope this is clear to everyone. After the break, we'll start with the spatial movement. Okay, and we'll touch base other things as well. Okay, so let's have a break first, guys, for 15-20 minutes. We'll meet after 15-20 minutes, and then we'll start with the spatial movement, guys. Please be on time because we need to start with spatial design. It is one of the important features of AR and VR and widely used. Okay, so we'll cover human-centered design, familiarity, and all this thing, and it is according to Apple. Okay, so one of the important concept that we should understand. So let's meet after 15-20 minutes, guys. Okay, I'll launch a poll for everyone. Once again, please provide your valuable feedback, and then you can go for a break. We'll meet after 15-20 minutes. Okay, thank you, guys. I've launched the poll. Please provide your valuable feedback here. Okay. Are we all back, guys? Others, please give me a quick confirmation. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Amu, Priyaj, everyone back, guys, from the break? Perfect. I'm ending the poll. Hope you all have given the feedback. And let's get back to the session, guys. Okay. So, spatial design in AR and VR. Okay. So earlier we have covered spatial movement, right? Spatial movement is very much important. Let's suppose you are walking, you are jumping, okay, and you don't want to lose that context, you don't want to lose the interactions, you don't want to lose that connectivity with VR. So you need spatial movement, okay. So now here we will talk about spatial design in AR and VR. Okay, like as you know, spatial movement is quite important, and while doing the workout, while doing the gym or all this stuff, you need that. So how you will design the spatial, how basically you will create that spatial design in AR and VR. Okay, we'll talk about that in detail, guys. Okay, so let's jump. So what is spatial design? Spatial design is basically a, a process of organizing and structuring physical or virtual spaces to enhance functionality, aesthetics, and user experience. Means, in total, it is a process by which you blend physical world with virtual world. Okay, that is real world with virtual world, and how and to blend this, you need a special design. And if you organize it properly, if you structure it properly, so what it will do, it will enhance the functionality, the layout, okay, and overall the UX. So that's why it is quite important to know how to create spatial design. Okay, this spatial designing, it encompasses what? It basically includes what? It includes various design disciplines, including IMAP, that is information architecture, interior designing, exhibition designing, now virtual reality, digital product design, all, like almost everything related to design. Okay, it includes all this. So to create this, you need to follow five principles for great spatial design. Okay, so to create, or to uh, basically to start with a great spatial design, you need five principles. Okay, so first principle is familiarity. Second principle is human centered design, that is HCD. Third is dimension. Fourth is immersion, and fifth is authenticity. Okay, let's deep dive into each. So first is familiarity. Okay, so familiarity, as the name suggests, something related to known things. So it balance basically how you are uh, adjusting different UI elements, or you can say common UI elements like sidebars, tabs, search fields, okay, buttons, and all these things. Okay, so that you can make the seamless navigation, means user can perform the task, user can complete the journey without any issues, like it's seamless, there is no stoppage, there is no hindrance while doing the navigation. And to make the user comfortable in spatial environments. Okay, so this in this environment, basically you should use the common UI elements in a balanced way, means the innovation thing, like whatever you are innovating, like for example, if you are giving some gaze methods, okay, so that innovation should balance with the common UI elements, right? So that it is a seamless navigation, like the entire journey of the user is seamless, and also user feels comfortable in that environment. Okay, so here you see the example shows the Apple Music app on iPad with 2D UI while adapting this elements in Vision Pro. You see, in Vision Pro for seamless navigation in a spatial environment. Okay, so you see this is in 2D, like in web application. This is basically you see it behind some cupboard and all these things. So he is seeing that not on digital device, on spatial environment. Okay, with a VR headset, he can see, you can put that headset and you can see this. So this is how it will look like in Hollywood movies and all, you must have seen all these kind of stuffs. Okay, so this is how, so this is in real, or you can say in web application, in two dimensional, and it is with spatial effects. Okay, so you see search bar here, all playlist, and all this image here, all these menus. Okay, that is VR menus, sub menus, main menus, everything is here. Okay, that is familiarity, means you should use the familiar, like I should not feel like I am totally disconnect from the real web app. Okay, then it will be a disconnect, user will not be able to immerse in that one, will not be able to engage. So that rule of consistency, okay, the familiarity, basically it should feel like familiar. For example, Teams mobile app. Okay, so Teams mobile app on the web application, on the iPads or on the phones, okay, it should feel like similar, or I should feel like familiar, the chats over there on the web and chats over there in the mobile, it should feel like I'm familiar with this one. I should not feel like after using web application, if I'm going to mobile application, I should not feel like totally disconnect. Okay, that is familiarity. So how you are basically balancing the innovation with common UI elements like sidebars, tabs, buttons, search, all these things, whatever you can think of, the common UI elements, how you are basically balancing, that is familiarity. Now, HCD, quite obvious, human centered design, right? So it basically focuses on optimizing the content. Okay, and how it will optimize the content? By optimizing its placement. Okay, so you need to think people, means user should feel comfortable, and how? If you place the thing at the center for easy visibility. Okay, so if you put the thing like somewhat at very distant or somewhat at hidden, user will feel lost. Okay, so to give user a way of how to say, a way of giving easiness. Okay, giving a way by which user can easily use the functions, or to make the things more usable, right? For example, I'll show you here. So see with 3XO, you see I'm here, okay. So it is an special environment. It's not like a 2D environment. It's an special environment. So you see all things. It's very accessible. It's not something very small. And here, the way if I go to Amazon, I'll show you. One second. See, here also this many things. Here also many things. I can see here at the top corner. Here also I can see. Here I can see many things. But here everything at the center. And how they made this environment, how to say, clean, minimal, so that I should not feel like, hey, where I am. If they make it complex, if they not if they don't make it keeping human at the center, then I'll feel like disconnect from this. Okay, and I'll be able to I will not be able to actually perform the task. Okay, so here it is equally important that you should create something very simple. Okay, here don't go ahead with that pixel perfection and everything, but go ahead with all the sizing, all the negative spacing. You see the spacing between is same, even here is same. So that is there, but don't make it too cluttered, don't make it too compact. Okay, so I told you earlier also, I think in design system, so there are three modes, three views. Okay, I showed you the example of LIC. Okay, so there we have multiple modes. Okay, like compact view, default view, and grace view. Okay, so you can make the things compact in web, in mobile, not only mobile, in web you can do it. Mobile nowadays not trending, so you can make the things. But here in special environments, if you are doing it, it is not going to work, because user will feel lost, user will feel not real. You see here the way they are placing these trees and all this everything, you see, you feel like real, right? And think right now it's in through web. Okay, if you see this with certain glasses, some VR headset and all, okay, you will feel it real. Okay, the moment I click here, lights off, lights on. Okay, sunroof on, sunroof close. The moment you see here, and the sound and everything, they are doing it so that I can feel it. I feel it real. I should not go. I should not go away from society to engage me. Okay, to make me give a feeling of reality. They are, you see, this staring and all this thing. The moment I see here all this, okay, so it is me a feeling. Hey, okay, it's like this. And here, if I click this, the sunroof is open and close. All this. So here the seats and all this, whatever is there. So it is so uh, it is so created in a way that I can feel it. I should not feel like it's a duplicate one. Okay, there. So in HCD, basically what you do is you put the content surrounding the object. Okay, so that I should feel comfortable while doing the interaction. Okay, few examples. Like here you are designing for human comfort and natural behavior. There are three key ideas here. For example, field of view. First, place important things where eyes naturally look. For example, here you see eyes naturally look. That's why logos are here. So home, rich, all this here it naturally looks. Second, no awkward positions or straining. That is ergonomics. Okay, so awkward positions, put something here or here, it's not good, right? Natural movement interactions feel instinctive, not forced, right? Interactions, the moment I go interior to exterior, okay, all these interactions, the moment I close the doors, all these things, okay, it should feel like instinctive, not forced. So example, if you understand, just like the room has furniture arranged where you naturally look, VR and AR apps place key content at the center of your view for easy visibility. Okay, so it should not like I'm placing things here and there. Okay, it will not give you a nice or comfortable visibility. Okay, so you need to design around the human, not the other way around. Got it? So at the center, place the object, place the navigation or buttons or functions at a place where it is quite obvious, where eyes naturally look. Don't consider the areas which is like out of the reach of human. Okay, you need to give a natural view to the user. That is HCD. Now before moving to dimension, give me a quick confirmation, guys. HCD and familiarity is clear to everyone? Any doubt? Very important it is it clear to everyone? You guys are following, right? Give me a quick confirmation, guys, over chat. HCD is clear, familiarity is clear in special design. Kevin, Rahul, Pushpa, Rajeshri, Sarika, Ammu. Guys, it is clear. Rahul says yes. Others, is clear to everyone. Then we'll move to further content. Perfect. Let's move ahead, guys. What is dimension? So, dimension is basically it emphasizes utilizing depth, scale, and space. And what it does basically, once you utilize this, you will be able to create hierarchy. Okay, and it will work seamlessly like varyingly in physical environments. Okay, for example, you need to use depth, scale, and space smartly in VR and AR design. Otherwise, it will not look real. For example, here you see it has used depth, okay, scale, scale. You see space. You see the space here. Okay, somewhere all the things, everything I can see, and I can see all the contours and everything. Okay, ideas are depth, make things feel near or far to show what's more important. Okay, scale, you should scale the object so that I can feel like real. Okay, and if it's a big room or a small room, something like this. Okay, so here you see it's an open space, right? An open space. So lights, I can make the lights on, I can make lights off. Okay, so it's in open space. How it is, what environment, at what condition, all this thing is equally important while designing this environment. So it is known as a dimension. Okay, so here you see you need to use space and depth to guide attention, not just flat 2D layouts. That's saying, so here is using depth and this space all this thing you see. Okay, so through this they are making it feel like 3D. It is on 2D, but I can see it as a 3D. Okay, all the views I can see very nicely. So that is there. You should not create something which feel like, hey, it is in 2D. Okay, so same here. If I open it, here they are using this depth. You see, like this, using this depth, everything, shadows on all these things, very very important. If I go to even day mode, you see, in the day mode also it is showing. Okay, all these things. So that is their dimension, guys. Okay, then immersion. So immersion is basically the involvement. Okay, you are blending the physical and digital world in a way, or virtual or physical world in a way, so that it creates a seamless and controlled app experience. Okay, here you see, uh, so you are basically transitioning from shared window to a fully immersive stage. And here basically user is adapting, and user is basically fully immersed into it. Let's understand with certain examples. Okay, so immersion is basically controlling how deeply a user is pulled into the virtual world. Means, if you are creating a virtual world in a way by which you feel like, hey, the user is fully engaged, and first you try it and you see, hey, so awesome. I feel like I got disconnected from the real world. Okay, like the VR headsets and all. I'll show you that again. Okay, so at the end, he was actually sitting idle. He was in the real world, but for him it feels like he's in the virtual world. He was fully immersed in that one. The way this is there, you see, mixed reality roller coaster. Okay, so this is there, guys. Okay, so here basically, what we are doing is, here we are actually uh, making the user engaged, immersed in the virtual environment, virtual world. Okay, so that control, that is known as emotion. Okay, so here we have two types. Okay, one is partial immersion and another is full immersion. Okay, so for partial immersion, that is left image or right image, here you see, this is partial immersion and this is full immersion. Okay, now virtual content sits in your real room like a big screen on your wall. You are still aware of reality. Here it is virtual, right? See, it's a room, and here some screen is there and you are experiencing it, and here you are fully immersed. Okay, right image, reality disappears. You are completely transported to a virtual space. Okay, like a cinema hall, like you are in some chairs and all. I showed you yesterday. Okay, so that is there. So here, what you are basically doing is you are actually taking the user to a completely to a completely virtual world. They are totally cut off from the real world. Okay, that is immersion. Now, what is authenticity? Okay, so if I say authenticity, so authenticity means they should feel natural. Okay, they should be welcomed into the user space. Okay, so creating that kind of capabilities. For example, here you see Apple Photos enhancing authenticity by enlarging photos in space, dimming surroundings for focus. So what they are doing here, they are basically enlarging these photos and dimming the surroundings, right? So that they can create an immersive experience, a memorable experience. Okay, that is authenticity, guys. And with the authenticity, what happens is you will be able to create a immersive experience, means where the focus should be there. Okay, you are actually highlighting this. For example, I'll show you. Dinosaur. This is AR. One second, guys. This is AR. You see this. You you got this headset now. You see the focus here. See that focus. Okay. See the objects. They are dimming the surrounding. Okay, and focusing on the front part. You see, the moment Okay, all this that is there, guys. Okay, so here basically that is authenticity. You can feel like natural. Okay, that is there. So now these are the few tools. Spline and all will take a look into this one. So before moving ahead, just give me a quick confirmation, like authenticity, immersion, dimension, human centered design, and familiarity. The Apple's principle for exceptional special design is clear to everyone. Any doubts in this one, guys? Any doubts? You can ask now. Is it clear to everyone? Sarika, Rajeshri, Kevin, Rahul, Pushpa, Shushmita, Bharat, Alekhya, Paraj, is it clear to everyone? You got the idea? Yeah, sure. I'll summarize. So, spatial design is basically, guys, how you are basically organizing the physical and virtual spaces. Okay, that is spatial design. And why you are doing it? You are doing it for giving a aesthetic and enjoyable user experience. Okay, now to do this, to create an exceptional spatial design, you need five principles. Okay, for great spatial design. First is, sorry, familiarity. Second is HCD. Third is dimension. Fourth is immersion. Then authenticity. Okay, familiarity is how you are basically organizing the common UI tools and how you are making a balance between innovation and common UI elements. Not UI tools, UI elements like sidebars, tabs, and all these things. How you are making a balance means I should feel familiar, like when I'm using it in a special environment, it should be familiar to me. I should not feel lost. Okay, so there should be a balance. Okay, that is familiarity. Human centered design means whatever the things are there that you wanted to place, that you place at the center. Okay, or at a space, or at a place. You can call it space in a special environment, space where eyes are easily reachable. Okay, don't place it where like user can't use it. So you need to place it at a area where user can quickly use it. That is SCD. Okay, dimension is you need to use depth and scale, because if you don't use it, for example, here I am using the depth, I'm using this height, length, width, everything. I'm using that depth, the scaling part. I can zoom in, zoom out, all this I can do. If I'm doing this, then I'll give a natural feeling, I'll give a physical environment feeling. That is dimension. Immersion means you should use the things in a way so that user feel completely into it. Okay, the way I showed you this dinosaur one. Okay, the moment you entered inside one, you feel like you are actually sitting in the roller coaster and you are feeling it. So you should design the entire environment in a way so that user feel fully immersed, fully involved in this one. And after this, authenticity. Whatever the product, whatever the thing you wanted to highlight on that one. For example, here, the moment this comes, now you see they are basically highlighting this area, not the rest area. They have less, they have made the priority of rest, that is the surrounding, less than the front one. This is the product. Okay, so I'll highlight it so that user focus here, then only will be able to give that one. Let's suppose here at this portion, this dinosaur is coming. Okay, and i have given i have given I have given and focus this tree. That is not going to work. So we need to give with sound, with effects to the area where we wanted user to focus. Same like the buttons, same like the Amazon. Okay, here what what I wanted the user to see, I wanted user to see to proceed to buy 9 items. I'm emphasizing this one. Okay, I'm emphasizing this one. So that's why I made it with some other colors. In the same way, I have basically focused here, okay, to the product, so that users eyes attention goes there. That is authenticity. So that we can give a neutral, and we user should feel welcomed in that one. Okay, for example, here in Apple's photo, what they are doing, enhancing, they're enlarging the photo in space, and they are dimming the surrounding so that user gets more focus here. Okay, and by this one, user will be fully lost in this space. Not, they will not give attention to the surrounding and all this thing. That is authenticity. It is that simple. Now it is clear to everyone. No worries, Pushpa. Now it is clear. Is it clear, Pushpa? And others? Any doubts? Yes. Others also? Sarika says, Rahul says yes. Perfect. Perfect. Now, these are few essential tools for spatial design. Okay, spline is there, shapes XR is there, Arico is there. Okay, so these are a browser based 3D design tool that allows designer to create interactive 3D experience with ease. Same here, it is an dedicated VR tool for spatial design, specially tailored for creating and prototyping immersive 3D interfaces. And same here. So these are basically tools for creating a spatial design, guys. Okay. So here, once we read the SAP XR in upcoming classes, then you can quickly generate this. You can go to Figma, you can set up a new project, you can design the dashboard, generate access token, and import to SAP XR. Now, visual design for AR and VR. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Just give me 2 minutes. Allow me 2 minutes, guys. I'm really sorry. 2 minutes only. Yes. So yeah. So yeah, what we were talking, yeah. So here, once we start with the shape XR, okay, and the spline in upcoming classes, then you will get to know quickly. Okay, now let's have visual design for AR and VR. Okay, till now we were looking at UX, how AR and VR will be there in UX. Now visual design, VD. Okay, so what exactly is VD in AR and VR? Okay, so the same thing, it will relate to graphics, right? It will relate to layouts and interactions. So here, basically, here it refers to creating an engaging and immersive experience. The same thing, you need to use the graphics, you need to use the layout in a way by which you can give an immersive experience to the user. You see here, this is a virtual world, right? It is a virtual world, but the way it is giving, okay, an interaction, and how to say, a way, a platform by which user will be fully immersed in it. Okay, the graphics, the graphical element, all these things you see, the images, the search bar, all these UI elements, everything, it is looking so nice. Okay, and it is giving a clear picture, it is giving a, how to say, it is giving a platform, an experience where user will feel like wow. Okay, so here we need to think of, okay, and to do this, to make this happen, okay, what are the things that should be important? So there are few things, few elements basically that should be there, so that it feels like an immersive and intuitive user experience. So what are the things? The first is realism and believability. Second is depth and spatial awareness. Third is interaction feedback. And fourth is clarity and simplicity. Okay, so first is realism and believability, means it should match with the real world. Okay, otherwise in virtual environment you won't feel it, how to say, real. So how nicely you are blending the real environment with the virtual environment. Okay, that is realism and believability. Second is depth and spatial awareness. As I told, to create 3D spaces you need to take heights, you need to take spatial awareness. Okay, here in the same way. Okay, so that user feel like it's real. Okay, they should feel like, they should not feel like it's 2D flat. Third is feedback providing. Okay, so whatever you are doing, whatever is happening, okay, you should provide a feedback, you should provide an information to the user that hey, something is happening, you have done this action, and based upon this action this is happening. Okay, that is interaction and feedback. And the last is clarity and simplicity. As I told, here you see there is no much clutter, simply heading, search, images, and left bar. Everything is simple and aligned. And why it is important? So that essential information stands out. If you make it visually cluttered, if you make it full of UI elements here and there, then it is not going to convince the user. Okay, so for designing the VD, that is visual design or mock-up for that entire spaces, okay, you need to blend it first very nicely. Use 3D way, means you need to give depth, spatial awareness, so that it feels real. Also for every action there should be an interaction, there should be a feedback given to the user, so that they feel like hey, it is real, it is actual. Okay, they should feel, they should get immersed in it, they should not feel like hey, I'm lost, it is 2D, something like this. Okay, and the last is, to make all this happen, there should not be visual clutter, everything should be simple and simple, so that whatever the essential information are there, where the user wanted to see, wanted to go ahead, okay, wanted to take some action, they can quickly take these actions. Okay, now there are few key considerations. Okay, Like first, maintain minimalism that I told earlier. Here, you need to make it visual, visually not cluttered. Okay, means with minimal, how you can do it? You should do it. For example, here you see very minimal interior, exterior, three buttons, and then home and refresh. That's it. This is the global navigation in the top, full screen, refresh, this home, and here very important, and this interaction, and here day and night. Simple. And if I click here, you see likewise. You see, it's not like it's different than this one. Okay, everything you see, the prices and all these things very nicely they are doing. If I go and click on the select variant, I can easily do it here. So you can take this to a virtual world. Okay, that is there, guys. Let's jump back to the content. Okay, so here first you need to maintain a minimalism. Second, optimize field of view, means the same thing, this one, authenticity. Okay, whatever the thing you feel like user should focus, you need to optimize that. Then context awareness, what is the context? Okay, so that surrounding that area, whatever it is, it should not feel like two things are joined together, they are not actually matching with each other. Okay, so whatever the context that is there, you should follow that. And the last is prevent visual overload, like similar to minimalism. Okay, should not give lots of content. For example, you see here in this picture, very simple, one this way, left bar, header, body, and some actions at the bottom. That's it. And they are arranged in a way so that while using it, it will not feel like cluttered, it will not feel like, hey, it is too much, I can't take it. Okay, user can quickly do the interaction over here. Okay, that is prevent visual overload. There are few tools, okay, which are widely used for AR VR design and development. Okay, so development engine tools are Unreal Engine, Unity. 3D modeling softwares are Autodesk, Maya, Blender, WebEx are AR Code. We'll also see some of the tools, very basic. I'll let you know how to use it so that you should have a basic idea, okay, how to generate all these things in our upcoming classes. Okay, now before going to interaction design for AR and VR, give me a quick confirmation, guys. This visual design for AR and VR, like this realism, believability, depth, clarity, simplicity, interaction, feedback, maintain minimalism, this optimizing the field of view, ensure context awareness, and this prevent visual overload. This eight terminology is clear to everyone. Just a theory, guys, before moving to this tools in upcoming classes. These are the theory that you should understand. It is clear to everyone. Any doubts? Yes. Others, other than Pushpa, others, is it clear? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Very nice, very nice. Thank you, guys. Now, in the same way, what should be the interaction design for AR and VR? Okay, so here is a thing. We have already touch based it earlier. So here, if you see, interaction design basically focuses on creating intuitive, engaging, and user friendly interactions. Okay, so you need to create engaging and user friendly, means I should quickly interact, I should not feel like, hey, so earlier I used to play some games, I don't remember the name, those are so difficult because it was not intuitive, I was totally confused how to start it. Okay, so here when you are doing that in 3D environment, okay, then you should focus on intuitive, like by seeing that only user should feel, hey, this is the thing, I should use it like this. Okay, by doing this you will be able to create an immersive, means a good interaction. So here what it leverages, few things. Okay, I showed you earlier there are few ways, right? Voice is there, motions and gestures, spatial movement, all this thing is there. So here it leverages basically natural gestures, spatial navigation, okay, and sensory feedback. Sensory feedback is that eyes, hands, and all these things. Okay, so you can gesture like this with hand. Spatial means the full body movement, bend down, come up, walk, jump, and sensory means through eyes, through voice, all these things. So you can use all this for interaction design so that you can give a seamless user experience. Okay, now why interaction design in AR and VR? Obviously, it is there because it is there to enhance the user engagement. If you are doing it, then you are basically enabling the intuitive interactions with the digital elements. Okay, so in that one you will be able to quickly interact with it. Here you see VR interaction design enables intuitive stacking, means I can put the thing one over other. Okay, and how it is doing, how it is happening, it is happening through natural gesture and visual guidance. Means in the virtual world I can put a stack, okay, that is there, and this is interaction. If you do this, then you will basically engaging the user, that is there. Okay, now key considerations. So there are few key considerations, guys, for creating a seamless interaction. First, natural interactions, obviously, like it should mimic the real world behavior, like hand gesture, hand movement, should not do something extra or should not do something different. You should actually do, you should actually create that interaction which is present in the real world also. If that is not present in the real world and if you are creating it, then it will somewhat like people will feel disconnect. Okay, so try to do interactions which are real world behaviors. Okay, first thing. Second is affordances and signifiers. Okay, so what exactly it is? It is like glowing edges or haptic feedback. So basically, signifiers or contextual tips. So basically, while doing the interaction, you can give an idea to the user. You can give quick tips to the user. Hey, if you do like this, if you use two fingers, then you can enlarge the dinosaur. You can enlarge the product. If you want to flip, simply use your index finger to flip it. Okay, with some gestures, you can show this. So that is affordances, means it is affordable. Like it is clear communication to the user. And the same thing is feedback. If they are moving something, if they are doing some activity over there, okay, so you should tell them, you should inform them. And how you can inform them? With certain visual, with certain audio cues, okay, with certain vibrations to confirm user actions. Okay, so you should basically, a designer should basically provide immediate feedback, maybe through visuals, through audio, or through certain vibrations. Okay, in mobile also visuals, vibrations are there. And this is for what? This is to confirm user actions. Once you open or switch on your phone, it vibrates. What? To why it vibrates? To give a confirmation that whatever the action, like the long press of power button, whatever the action that you have done, we have received that action, and in response of that action we are providing this one. That is feedback, guys. Okay, then we should minimize the cognitive load, means the same thing with interaction also. You should keep the interface very simple, so that user should not have too many options, too many content to digest. Then it will increase the cognitive load. Okay, so you should make it very simple, very cluttered free, very aesthetic UI, so that user can quickly come enjoy it and quickly complete the task. Okay, quickly have a tour. So that is minimizing cognitive load. Then ergonomics. Okay, ergonomics is one of the keyword. So basically what it does, it ensures, okay, a comfortable placement of elements within easy reach. Okay, for example, in an VR environment, things are in 3D. If you are placing the things out of the reach of the user, okay, user needs to struggle to reach something, to start some function, to take some action, then it is not good. Okay, here in XUV 3XO, you see here everything is so reachable. It's not so small, it's not so big. Everything is too nice so that I can see it, I can read it, I can quickly do it. That's why I was totally immersed in it. I was totally involved in it. If you are not doing it, then it will create a chaos. It will create a problem in your design. Okay, so you should consider ergonomics. That is, all the interactions should be simple, should be easy, and within the reach. And accessibility is like same. Okay, means adjustable mode, like through voice commands, through certain customizable settings, through certain eye tracking, you can complete the task. Okay, so if you are giving certain interactions, don't give just interaction of click, give interaction of voice command also, right? So if you are following these kind of key considerations while designing the interactions of AR and VR, then it will be a great experience for the user. Okay, that is there. So you will get certain challenges. Okay, so some common challenges that faced by AR and VR designers when creating intuitive and engaging experiences are: first, avoid motion sickness. Okay, means you need to use natural movement and smooth transition to prevent discomfort. Don't give a jerk to the user, right? While having a roller coaster ride, a VR roller coaster ride, okay, give a smooth motion. Don't give a abrupt. Okay, it should feel like a natural movement. It should not feel like, hey, something abruptly happened. Okay, then maintaining immersion, like it should follow a consistent way. Okay, you should always keep your user engaged. At some point of time they should not feel like lost. Okay, if you are underwater, let's suppose roller coaster is happening with something and you are creating an interaction. Okay, so what happens is you should maintain a same immersion. Like at some point of time user feel like they are totally involved, and at some point of time they feel like, hey, they are not they're out of it, they feel like disconnect. So that is not a good way. Okay, so the same immersion. Okay, so in the same way we were doing the UI, we're following the consistency standard. In the same way here, you need to maintain the immersion, the same involvement, the same engagement is equally important here. Then you need to handling the physical space limit. That is very important. Okay, so there are certain sizes. Okay, there are certain room sizes, there are certain limits to the physical environment. Okay, so you need to design for different room sizes, so that you can avoid the obstacles. Okay, you should handle it in a way so that user should not feel restricted. It can, you know it can fit to any room size. It can it can adapt at scalable things. It can even minimize, it can even maximize. And last is designing for all users, means the same thing for advanced users also. Okay, and for beginners also you should provide some tutorials, okay, to guide them. Hey, let's have a quick tour. Okay, so these kind of tutorials, like let's suppose if you are giving a 3D view to a new car purchase. Okay, so you should give a tutorial. Okay, you can go ahead, you can leverage all this functionality, you can go ahead, you can use all these functions. Through this one you can have a awesome 3D tour of the car, and you can take a better decision of buying this car or different variants. Okay, so you should design for an advanced user, means you should give some shortcuts also, some way like skip intro also should be there. Then you are designing for all the users, means it should it should be designed for a diverse user, not for a restricted, not for a target user. Okay, that is there, guys. Okay, so here you see using a shapes XR, you can explore special design. We'll have a detailed class on these tools, okay, in upcoming classes. Don't worry, we'll see the basics of this. You'll have a fair idea how to deal with these kind of situations. But here, the design challenges, key considerations, okay, the interaction design, why interaction design is important, and how you should go about it. Like you should go for a natural interaction, you should go for uh, contextual prompts, you should go for feedback. Okay, you should go for minimizing the things, a simple easy layout so that user feels comfortable, so that user feels connected, providing different gestures, maybe voice mode, maybe eye tracking mode, and other ways by which user can perform the task and can have a soothing experience, can have a seamless experience of enhancing experiencing the things in a virtual world. That is equally important, guys, here. Okay, so these are the key consideration and these are the design challenges, right? Should not give an abrupt motion sickness. Okay, a smooth one, like a natural movement, like this, a natural movement, not give a abrupt one. Okay, so you should avoid that. You should avoid uh, disconnect. The same immersion, the same flow should happen. And also you should handle the space and designers, means not designers, users. Okay, you should handle the vivid users, you should handle the diverse user. It should fit for a new user also, and it should be much usable by the advanced user also. Okay, so if you follow all these design challenges while doing the AR and VR interactions, then it will be a seamless integration, guys. Okay, so here you can do this guided practice once we'll have the shape XR detailed things done for us. So here, before moving ahead to Q&A round, any doubts, anything related to interaction design, is it clear to everyone, guys? And ma'am is sharing the feedback link. I request everyone to please provide your valuable feedback. It is quite important for us. Please take out some time and provide your valuable feedback. So this interaction is clear to everyone. We have covered a lot on lots of theory today. So all the concepts before moving to the tool, is it clear to everyone? Any doubts? Anyone? Is it clear? Guys, you can give me a quick confirmation over chat. Okay. Kevin says yes. Others, is it clear to everyone? Puspa says yes. Others, Ammu, Rahul, Sarika, Susmita, Rajashri, Bharat. Guys, is it clear? Perfect. So, guys, we are done for the content today. and this forum is now open for Q&A. Anything, any doubt, if you have, you can ask. You can type in your questions in the chat, or you can ping me over Slack later on. Also, I'll be more than happy to answer all the questions. Any doubt, any question you can ask. And also, please provide your valuable feedback through the server link shared by our LSM Suprita ma'am. All clear? All the concepts are clear? AR, VR, in UX, interaction, visual design, everything is clear? All the concept? Perfect. Rajshri say yes. Kevin says yes. Perfect. With that note, I would like to discuss few things with Priyank. Those who have no more doubts and feel like okay, guys, you can go ahead with your day. Have a happy weekend, guys. Keep practicing, and I'll discuss few doubts with Priyank. Priyank, you are there in the call. If you have any doubts, guys, you can post that doubt in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer that. Or you can ping me over Slack also. Priyank, you are there? Okay. Seems like Priyank is not able to hear me. Okay, 1 second. Okay, seems like Priyank is not available currently. No worries. I'll talk to him later on Slack. No worries. I think I got some. Yeah, I think there are no more doubts to everyone. I think that's clear to everyone. For any doubts or anything, guys, feel free to drop me your query over Slack. I'll be more than happy. Priyank, no worries. Seems you are not available right now. No worries. We can connect over Slack, or we can discuss the same thing in our next classes. uh, or if you want some more things or any other doubts or anything to get clear over Slack, you can ping me over Slack, Priyank. No worries in that one. Okay, I think there are no more further questions. So, guys, keep practicing UX and just revise all the theories that we have covered yesterday and in today's class. In next class, we'll deep dive into some tools. We'll take knowledge on that. We'll deep dive into the basics. Okay, so keep practicing. Have a happy weekend, guys, and study UX, observe UX. For anything, please let me know over Slack or once we meet in the next class. Thanks, everyone. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you for the wonderful session, sir. And thank you everyone for joining and participating. So you will find a feedback survey link in the chat. Your input is highly valuable to us. So please take a moment to provide your feedback. Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.